like money, motherfucker? Money be green. Money feel like money. That shit look green
Great
to
one.
you?
It's a title fight as well. We got Bam Rodriguez minus 210 straight up on the money line, taking on Sonny Edwards, a plus 165. Both these guys are undefeated. They're both putting their flyweight titles on the line as well. Bam Rodriguez, also known as Jesse Rodriguez, putting the WBO on the line, and Sonny Edwards putting the IBF on the line. And one of these guys will not have their O's anymore. Bam Rodriguez is 18-0. 9 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Am I not mistaken? 11 of those wins coming by way of knockout. And also Sonny Edwards, only four coming by way of knockout. Right there, you can tell that Sonny Edwards doesn't possess that power just based off his record. But nonetheless, Bam Rodriguez, the favorite in this one. Sonny Edwards coming across the pond. They're going to be fighting in Arizona for this one. Bryan, how are you betting this one? And before you actually get into your bet, how do you see this one going?
It's interesting because Bam Rodriguez actually got some criticism following his last fight, which we talked about on the show a little bit. It was in the infancy stages of the show, but it was in April, so this was a while ago, and he fought against Christian Gonzalez Hernandez, who, he won by decision. It was a fairly wide decision, but he did lose some rounds there. And excuse me, I think there were some question marks. It was his first flyweight title fight. He won the vacant title. And since then, we've seen Sonny Edwards successfully defend his title against Andres Campos in Wembley Arena. That was in June. And that was a wide unanimous decision, 117, 111, three scorecards. I think both of these guys are really good. I think Bam is going to win this fight, though. Like, I've thought that from kind of the beginning. I think Bam is somebody who has megastar potential, which may have dwindled a little bit to some people regarding his last fight. I don't, it's part of the growth. He's how old is he? 24, 25 years old. And I think he can be really good and even more explosive. He's 23, actually, more explosive than he's shown. And the question that I have here is what happens when Sonny Edwards can't really hurt him? I think Sonny Edwards can box very well, counter effectively. Bam Rodriguez could be over aggressive, eager to put on a show in Arizona, large Mexican contingent there. But if Sonny Edwards can't hurt him, can he win this fight? I think Bam Rodriguez is the way to go here. I actually don't know what method of victory I'm going to choose. Minus 210. I mean, it's not awful depending on how much money you put on it. $25, you can walk out with like 36 at the end of the day. So, I mean, not amazing, but it's not nothing. I am looking at plus 475 by knockout, though, as an alternative option, because I do think Bam can get a stoppage here if he discovers, hey, Sonny Edwards can't really hurt me, and he decides to sort of walk him down and just finish him. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm still iffy on it.
Yeah, I think this is a great fight for Bam Rodriguez because it is his toughest test yet. And Sonny Edwards, like right away, we know he doesn't have power. I don't think that's a big storyline heading into this one. He's not going to be able to hurt Bam. He's just not. He just doesn't possess that power, but he's not that type of fighter. The type of fighter that Sonny Edwards is he is skilled. He has great lateral movement. And that's where I think the fight is going to be a little bit tough for Bam because Bam had to deal with lateral movement when he fought Christian Gonzalez. And there were times in that fight where he struggled a little bit. Bam Rodriguez has great footwork, but when he's trying to fight in front of you, and the guy's using his lateral movement, sometimes he struggled. And we saw that against a guy like Christian Gonzalez, right? Another way where I think Bam might struggle in this fight is because Sonny Edwards is such a good counterpuncher. That's his game. He's such a good counterpuncher. Like, he's a tricky fighter. He's not the most exciting fighter, Sonny Edwards. You're never going to be like, oh my God, I want to watch a Sonny Edwards pay-per-view. It's just not going to happen. He's not that dude, but he is a good fighter and he's tricky and he can cause some problems. And the one place where I think he's going to cause some problems is his counterpunching, because we saw this against Christian Gonzalez. When Bam Rodriguez tries to close the distance, he takes one full step in and tries to land the jab and he leaves himself completely open. And that's where we saw Christian Gonzalez make him pay in the last fight. And we continuously saw that. And that was one of the reasons why we were like, it wasn't the best performance from Bam, because coming into that fight, we were all like, Bam should knock him out.
Yeah.
Was that
I think
not, that was the
we both
narrative.
bet Bam by knockout, I believe. And this is why I think body punching will be his friend in this fight.
Yeah,
He
but
has to do that already.
Sonny Edwards is also going to land some good body punching on Bam too, because what did Christian Gonzalez do against Bam when he tried to close the distance and he took that one full step in and tried to land the jab? Body punching. Bam Rodriguez got a little bit exposed in that area. Now, do I think Sonny Edwards is going to win this fight? No. But I don't think Sonny Edwards is going to be a guy that Bam just gets easily out in the first 6 rounds, because Sonny Edwards is going to use that lateral movement, which Bam had some difficulty with Christian Gonzalez. Bam has to show that he's gotten better fighting a guy that uses tricky lateral movement. And I think this is the great fight for him to do that, because I think in this fight, he needs to come forward. He needs to be aggressive, but also the one thing that Bam really used in that last fight against Christian Gonzalez was the high guard. Guess who's pretty good at getting through that high guard? Sonny Edwards is. So when it comes to points, I don't actually think this is going to be like a lopsided fight where Bam just runs away with it. I think Sonny Edwards is a formidable opponent. And I think some people even have him winning this fight, because you look at the odds, it's not that far away, right? Sonny Edwards is a champ. He's the IBF flyweight title holder, and he can box. He doesn't have the power. Like I said, he's not the most entertaining dude, but he's going to find a way to win. Now, will it be one of those instances where there's so much hype on a Euro level fighter and then he comes to America and then it's just like, there's a possibility, because Bam is that good. But I also think this is a really important fight for Bam, because not only is it his toughest test, but for Bam Rodriguez, a lot of people don't believe in him yet. There's a lot of doubts about him, but he's a rising star. I think Jesse Rodriguez could arguably be one of the faces of boxing, especially when it comes to this flyweight division, which is, me and Brian were talking about it before. It's one of the most fun divisions to watch boxing in, because you know there's going to be a lot of punches thrown. And this is one of those fights where I think Bam Rodriguez is going to come forward. His work rate is going to be high, but he has to watch out for that counter punching. I want to see if he's gotten better with lateral movement as well. And when it comes to his defense and high guard, is Sonny Edwards going to be able to get through that? I think he will, just based off what we saw against Christian Gonzalez. Is Bam going to let Sonny feel his power? Yes. Is Sonny going to be able to withstand it? I think he might be able to, because the way that Sonny's footwork is, he's got pretty decent footwork, and he's going to move around in a weird way. And it's going to be interesting to see how Bam figures that out, because he didn't do that great of a job with a guy like Christian Gonzalez. So I have Bam Rodriguez winning this fight by decision. I saw on FanDuel last night, it was -108, but now it's going for a +110, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
It's basically the same. It's around the same.
So I think he's going to win by decision. I don't think this is going to be an easy fight for a guy like Bam, actually. I think it's going to be a tough fight. And I think Sonny Edwards, he's not going to be entertaining. Like, this is not going to be a fight where you're like, oh, he put on a masterclass performance. But he's so skilled. He's a great counter puncher. He knows how to use his lateral movement, and he knows how to win fights. And sometimes in boxing, it's not about the power punching. It's about the performance you put on in the ring and the game plan that you have. And I think Sonny Edwards coming into this fight, going across the pond for this fight, fighting in AZ, listen, I think he's going to put up a very tough fight against Bam Rodriguez. I think this one goes the distance, Brian.
Yeah, like how many times have we seen in boxing the counter puncher who's going to stick and move, neutralize the guy who's potentially more explosive, has more power, who wants to fight on the inside, who probably wants to fight on the inside and make this a fight in front of, you know, the Arizona crowd, who might get restless with Sonny Edwards, especially if he's, you know, sort of up 5 rounds to 1. We're halfway through and we're like, yo, Bam hasn't figured this out yet.
But Bam's got skill too. Like, Bam does have skill. It's just, it's the lateral movement. We saw it against Christian Gonzalez. So has he figured that out yet? He can stand in front of Sonny all day. You know what I mean? And he knows how to cut off the ring. But Sonny's not going to do that. Sonny's going to run around. That's what Sonny does. Yeah, Sonny moves around the ring. He's going to run around. And the thing that I noticed about Sonny Edwards is, like, he moves around the ring so much that he just gasses out his opponent and then goes, yo, I'm gonna land on you and like use my skill. Have you ever seen that Simpsons episode where Homer just like takes punches to the face and just gets his opponent tired? And then it gets to like the 12th round and he like knocks him out. Like, not saying that's what Sonny Edwards does, but sometimes I feel like that's something similar to what Sonny Edwards does, because he really tires out his opponent. And here's the thing, in that Christian Gonzalez fight, I believe Bam was fighting with a broken jaw after the 6th round. So I'm not going to put too much into that fight. I'm not going to, because he fought with a broken jaw and still won. But I mean, listen, Sonny Edwards he's gonna run around the ring all night.
Yeah, and it's a matter of like, can Bam Rodriguez, for me, can he land to the body early and often? Can he find Sonny Edwards early enough in the bout to that point? Because I think Sonny Edwards is really going to try to feel him out, but for the most part, is going to try to fight this at a distance because that's his best bet. He's not going to overwhelm anybody with his power, but tactically he's sharp. And is Bam Rodriguez going to have the sort of ring IQ to match up with Sonny Edwards? I actually don't like that he's minus 210. I feel like I would take him just on the money line if this were like even minus 170, because I don't know how this is going to end really, because conventional wisdom says lean to the decision. I could see him catching Sonny Edwards though.
I could too.
I could see him closing the distance. I could see him closing the distance, especially if it's near plus 500 odds. I could see him closing the distance, sort of figuring out this dude can't hurt me, caught off the ring effectively like he would. And if he, again, implements the body punching early, I think that he can break down Sonny Edwards over the course of the fight. All things easier said than done, but they're all reasons why I would consider putting a little something on Bam Rodriguez by knockout at plus 480. If Sonny Edwards wins this fight, it's gonna be by decision. It's not. I feel confident saying he's not going to stop Bam Rodriguez.
There's no way he's gonna stop Bam Rodriguez. Like, honestly, like, I know I said it before for Canelo and John Ryder, but that was totally different. There's no way Sonny. I've seen Sonny Edwards fight quite a bit.
Same.
That's why I had quite the analysis on dude. Yes. But I'm telling you, he's not knocking out nobody. Like, my grandma's knocking out somebody at the grocery store before that's happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go to alternate round betting, because I think if Bam knocks him out, it's gonna be round 7 through 12, and you can bet You can bet it at plus 900. Crazy. Yep. I would sprinkle on that. Like, if there's something I'm going to sprinkle on, it's Bam to get the knockout, and it's between 7 through 12. Because I do think that once Sonny stops running around the ring, because that's what he's going to do. You know what I mean? He's going to keep moving around the ring. Once he kind of stops that and Bam figures it out, I think there's a chance he lands a big one. And listen, this is the toughest puncher that Sonny Edwards has faced. But it's going to be a great fight. Both titles on the line. Here at TheMandatory, we want to know how you're betting. Drop your slips. If you are betting Sonny and we're hating on him, let us know. But drop
Sonny
your
Edwards'
slips.
last knockout, by the way, April 27th, 2019.
Okay, so just before COVID.
It was about a year before. He fought a guy named Pedro Matos, 7-1. Knocked him out in the 8th round, stopped him in the 8th round. And yeah, that's his only knockout in over 5 years, well over 5 years.
He's just not a knockout dude. And that's
Which is fine. Listen, we saw a masterclass from Devin Haney last week.
But he stunned Regis though. So
over and over, scored a knockdown. I don't think it's gonna be that, but listen, Sonny Edwards is really skilled. Like, listen, these dudes who get to world championship level with like single-digit amount of knockouts despite having 20 plus fights, there's an art to that. All right, like, I defended Paulie Malignaggi's boxing style. I know a lot of people would shit on it. Maybe it's the New Yorker in me, but listen, that dude was really skilled, had some moments even against Miguel Cotto, and I think that's what sort of kept them at that level, winning multiple world championships. Like, to be that good and to not have finishing power in that way, there's an art to that. That being said, I'm rolling with Bam Rodriguez to win this fight.
Yeah, we're both rolling with Bam. Drop your bets below and let us know how you're going to be betting this one. Also follow us at TheMandatory TKO. Also leave a rate and review if you're hearing this on the audio side, and hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. We're seeing a lot of people watching our videos, But we need you to hit that subscribe button as well. And if you've already been rocking with us, thank you so much. We got a lot of dope stuff coming in the month of December. We got a few more lives coming up as well. Bryan, any final thoughts before we get up and out of here?
There's a lot of other boxing this week, which we're not going to do in a segment necessarily. But if you have other picks, do send them. I saw that Chris Colbert, Rayo Valenzuela are having a rematch, and that's about even, -110 both ways. Chris Colbert controversially won the first one. Don't know what's going to happen there. And we have some other fun fighters returning to the ring this week, including David Morrell, and also Andre Berto and Robert Guerrero are going to fight each other. And Jakumbayev is going to be back in the ring too. So a lot of fun fights, but we can talk about that more next week. As far as lives go, next week we're going to have live, and we're going to have multiple lives going forward, as Shantelle said, for the rest of the year, because next week is heavyweight week, and also Naoya Inoue is going to follow up right then and there. And we will have some awards to give out for the year of 2023 here on The Mandatory. So let us know what you'd like us to cover going forward.